Welcome to the Mapuana Reed Show. Today I am doing a solo episode because I want to remember this day. Today I did something super, super, super big and super scary for myself. I signed a contract and I committed to do something that is just so way out of my comfort zone. Like if you knew me just 6 months ago or even a year ago, none of this stuff even existed. So for me to be doing all these things that I am doing now, it is scary. And I am still going to show up and I'm going to push through and I am going to still do the things that scare me. Because for me, that is where growth happens. So I just signed a contract to host a big event on May 3rd. And I will tell you more about the event in the future once I get all the details set up. But the only thing I know for now is the date and the location. It is going to happen on May 3rd here in Hawaii. So save that date if you would like to attend. It's going to be something so big for myself that it is really, really, really pushing me out of my comfort zone. And all the feels are coming to the surface. So feeling scared and excited and overwhelmed and wanting to jump for joy and then hide under a cave. Like all of that is happening in my body in this moment while I record this podcast. And I just want you to know that, like, that's where expansion is. That's where you grow the most, is when you don't run from these fears. It's when you continue to push through and you continue to sit with these feelings, even though you are scared. For me, honestly, I want to tell you, this is what it feels like for myself. It feels like I want to throw up, shit my pants, and then jump for joy all at the same time. Like, seriously, it's like I'm on a roller coaster ride. I'm up and down and up and down and up and down. And like, I'm so sick to my stomach that I just want to just throw up, but then I want to cry and then I want to like cheer. And it's just like all the feels are happening right now within my body. But that's where your expansion comes from. That's where you grow. You do not grow if you just sit back and do nothing. So I want to tell you that fear and courage can coexist at the same time. And also, we only have this one life to live. So why let fear hold us back? Like, why not just go for it? You got one crack at this life. So why not live it to the best? Like, live your most best, biggest dream possible. Why not? You got one life and then it's over. I also want you to know that fear is normal. It is so normal. And all the inner voices that pop up, like, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What will people think? Instead of thinking all of those thoughts, why not reframe it? And why not say, fear is a sign you're stepping into something really meaningful. The bigger the fear, the bigger the potential for growth. And that I know for a fact. And also, another thing is that I wanted to say is that you are never fully ready. Anything big in my life that has ever happened, I don't feel I was ever fully ready for it. Confidence doesn't come before the leap, it grows as you act. And that goes with everything I ever did in my life. You need to take action and then the confidence will come. That's what I'm talking about. You need to do it scared. You need to do it when you're unsure. You need to just take the first step. No matter how big or how small, honestly, just take a step, any step, a step towards your big goal. Every big decision is going to feel scary at first. The more steps you take towards your big goal, the less scary it is going to feel. I want to tell you, stop waiting for the perfect moment because the perfect moment does not exist. I was never ready to start my business. I was never ready to have my children. I just got pregnant. I was like, okay, hey, I'm going to be a mom now. And then I wanted to start my business and I wasn't ready for any of all the big things that ever happened to me in my life. But I just rode with it. I just put on my big girl panties and I just figured it out as I went along. Take the first step, even if it's imperfect. Even if you fail, at least you tried. Because if you don't try, you automatically fail. Don't you feel like if you at least try, you're like 50-50, right? I say this all the time. You got a 50-50 chance of making it work. You're either going to try and two things are going to happen. You're either going to fail or you're going to succeed. But if you don't try, there's a 100% failure rate if you don't try. So why not Take your chances at 50-50. The magic happens when you show up scared. This event contract, it is like terrifying to me because for me, it's like locking me into the commitment that I am going to be the one to put this together. I am going to bring these women together in this room. I am going to create this huge event that for me, it's like all the feels is coming to my mind right now. Like, who do you think you are? And, who do you think you are to do this event or have a podcast or all these things? But I think I'm learning to dance with fear. I think I'm learning to be like, all right, I know you're there. And I know you're there every single time I want to grow. So instead of listening to fear, I just feel like I'm just going to dance with it and be like, you know what? You may be there, but guess what? So am I. So am I. I am going to be in the arena. I refuse to sit back and just watch my life go by and wish. I don't want to wish I did this or wish I did that. Like, I want to create the life that I want to live. I want to create a big life. I want to create a life for myself, for my family, and all the beautiful things in this lifetime that I want. And I want you to also do the same. Choosing courage over comfort is definitely, that is where transformation lives. This is where my expansion will happen. And I know that for a fact. There's a quote by Brene Brown, and she says, daring greatly means signing up to get your butt kicked. And right now, I feel it. I feel like I am definitely getting my butt kicked by this invisible thing called fear, but I'm not going to let it take me over. Imagine stepping into the arena, right? Imagine stepping into the arena like a gladiator. There's going to be cheers, there's going to be critics. But the critics don't matter. The only voice that matters are those who are brave enough to just show up. And you know what? You are not alone. I want to remind you that over and over and over. You're not alone. Others feel scared too. I myself right now recording this podcast telling you that this morning I signed that big contract. It is scary. I couldn't even eat. Like, it's 2 p.m. and I haven't even had one meal besides a cup of coffee. And it's because my stomach is all twisted and I'm feeling like, what did I just do? But I know in my gut, if I don't sign that contract, I do not grow. I do not enter into my next chapter. I talk about this all the time. It's called Her Job, Her Journey on Becoming. And I feel like we are forever becoming. And this is just part of my chapter. Me signing that contract today, December 9th, 2024, this is just part of the process. This is part of my journey. This is part of me becoming the woman that I want to be. So the big question is, when you're older, what kind of story do you want to tell about your life? Will you have regrets or will you be proud of how you showed up? I want to challenge you to whatever is calling you. I want you to go for it. I want you to start that business, take the leap, say yes to those big, big dreams. And I want to meet you there. Do it scared. I want you to do it with me. Do it scared. Embrace fear as a companion, not a roadblock. Showing up is already a win. Just show up. Just get up. Get in the arena. Do not sit down. Do not sit back and just watch your life go by. Like, where do you want to be in 6 months? Where do you want to be? It's December right now, like next Christmas. Where do you want to be? How about summer? Where do you want to be this summer? Do you want to be sitting in the exact same place, doing the exact same thing, wishing for a better life? Or do you want to take that one step closer to actually achieving it? I want to welcome you to get in the arena. Whatever arena that is, I welcome you to get in it. Don't sit down. Don't just watch. Get in there. Do it scared. Step into the arena of your life. I want to thank you for listening to this podcast. If you made it this far to my solo episode, I haven't done a solo episode, I feel like, in such a long time. And I think I will be doing a few more solo episodes. I want to remember this moment. I want to come back a year from now. I'm going to set it on my calendar and I'm going to remind myself to listen to this episode because I myself want to see how much growth has happened in my life by next December. And I would love to connect with you. I never know who's listening to the podcast. because I only see like numbers, like people download them, but I don't actually know who they actually are. So I would love, love, love for you to connect with me. You could connect with me through Instagram at Mapuana Reed, or the podcast Instagram is the Mapuana Reed Show. But I just want to thank you so much for being here. You being here and you listening to this podcast, you are part of making my dreams come true. This podcast was all just a dream. I started this podcast in May and it is only December. This podcast for me was all just a dream. And to think now, like I'm sitting here in my office recording this podcast, talking about how I signed this big contract for this big event that's going to happen on May 3rd. It is scary, it is big, but I welcome you to live this big life with me. I hope to see you at the event, and I hope to connect with you. I hope to hear from you. DM me, comment on my Instagram, leave me a review if you love the podcast. And yeah, I will see you in the arena. We'll do it together. We'll do it scared. And we'll both feel like we're going to shit our pants and throw up at the same time, but also jump for joy. All right. I'll catch you on the next episode. See you in the arena.